From the great city of Chicago, it is time for one of the premier events on the college basketball calendar. It is the State Farm Champions Classic. And in game one tonight, a homecoming. Duke head coach Jon Scheyer from Northbrook, Illinois, just 23 miles from the United Center, as the Duke Blue Devils get set to take on Tom Izzo's Michigan State Spartans. One of the best events in the season. This fan base is ready to go.
Let them see the determination in our faces.
Throws it down with two hands. Are you serious?
My goodness, he has got game.
Big time.
About to kick it up and I shouldn't turn around, put him in place.
Let's get back into they usually tip it back.
Oh, out of nowhere. That's it.
Hangs him hit. How good is that?
That was awesome, baby.
Share the ball, and the most aggressive team wins.
What an amazing sequence by Kansas.
Oh, two-hand jam. Throw it over there. Pull up three. Give it to him. And a poster dunk.
The season starts here, starts tonight. Welcome to the State Farm Champions Classic. This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster. And what a phenomenal doubleheader we've got for you tonight. The first game, Duke and Michigan State here at the State Farm Champions Classic. Kentucky and Kansas still to come. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the United Center. Dan Schulman and Jay Billis. Jay, this outstanding event, another sign that the college basketball season is really underway.
One of the best events, if not the best event of the regular season. You have to give these coaches credit because they're willing to step into the ring against another heavyweight. When you step into the ring, you better be ready to throw a haymaker because these are Elite Eight caliber teams and this is an Elite Eight atmosphere.
And the second game, the same thing. The number one team in the nation right now, the Kansas Jayhawks and Kentucky in the second game. Let's preview the first game right now with the Duke Blue Devils. They have a fair bit back. They've got a number of starters back, including a guy who looks like he could battle for Player of the Year if he keeps playing the way that he's playing. Jeremy Roach, Tyrese Proctor, Mark Mitchell, and the guy that I'm alluding to, of course, Kyle Filipowski, has had two huge games already for Duke.
Well, Kyle Filipowski is having a Player of the Year type season in his first two games, averaging 25 points per game, shooting almost 60% from three, showing a very varied skill set. You can put him in the post, you can put him out on the perimeter. He can pick and pop, knock down a three, he can put it on the floor. Here, a double drag along with Ryan Young. Ryan Young is going to roll to the basket. That leaves Filipowski on the pop, wide open for the three, and he is knocking these down at a high rate. Now here, out of bounds underneath. He comes off. He has an initial three, but hesitates a little bit because he's guarded. Goes right into a dribble handoff, and then he's going to roll right down into the post. When he catches the ball, he shows poise and patience in the post. Watch how he looks middle. Is a double team coming? No, I've got one-on-one in the post, and he just bullies his way for a basket and a foul. But his play on the perimeter, little dribble handoff screen, and then he rolls hard to the basket on an open side, gets a dunk. He is doing everything, and he's got to stay out of foul trouble because Duke needs him on the floor for 35-plus minutes.
As for Michigan State, Tom Izzo's team has suffered a defeat already this year, an overtime loss to James Madison in their first game, a win over Southern Indiana, so they are 1-1, but extremely high expectations for this team, which also brings a lot back from last year.
Very experienced, especially at the guard spot. Tyson Walker and Jaden Akins. They've not shot the ball well, even though Tyson Walker is really scoring. He's averaging 24 points per game. But I think Michigan State has to come out strong and physical in this game, especially on the glass where they may have an advantage.
Let's go cross court. Holly Rowe with a couple of very special guests.
Well, this is exciting. The real tip-off to the season here in Chicago. Huge fan base here to support your team. What do you expect tonight, Coach Izzo?
Well, I expect a hell of a game. I hope I get one from both of us. I think the two of us have played in a lot of these. It's going to be a good game, I hope.
You said you recruited this guy. Hope he didn't disappoint you too bad.
I'm still mad at him for not coming.
Coach, you were a schoolboy legend here in Chicago. What's it like to be coaching your team in this building?
Well, it's an honor to be back in Chicago. It's a big time thing to be a part of this event, playing against Coach Izzo and his team, so we're excited to go.
What does your team have to do to get a win?
have to be tough. They're tough. They're really good, experienced, and we have to have some poise down the stretch.
Thank you both. Thank you.
A couple of coaches with a lot of fondness for one another. Again, Jon Scheyer, as we mentioned, it's a homecoming for him. Tom Izzo, tongue-in-cheek, says he's been mad at Scheyer ever since Scheyer decided to go to Duke instead of going to East Lansing. Michigan State in white, Duke in blue. Outstanding officiating crew tonight, and Roger Ayers, Bert Smith, and Paul Sells. And it's interesting, Jay, it's so early as we get you ready for this Sonic blockbuster here at the United Center. But each of these teams has already lost so far. They're both 1-1. Again, you can lose and still be great at the end of the year in college basketball, but nobody wants to walk out of here 1-2 on the season. A.J. Hoggard at the point. Michigan State with the first possession of the night.
Tyrese Proctor guarding Tyson Walker. Proctor 6'5" and an excellent defender. And he's going to try to keep with Walker wherever he goes. You cannot lose Tyson Walker.
If you're looking to boil it down a little bit, a big issue for Duke in the first couple of games has been rebounding, and a big issue for Michigan State has been three-point shooting. As Hall will hit one, and allows me to segue into the stat very nicely. Only 2 for 31 shooting threes in the first 2 games. Hall knocks one down.
And important for Michigan State that Malik Hall gets off to a good start. In their last game against Southern Indiana, Tom Izzo tried to put him down in the post to get him going. He's got to find shots for Malik Hall, Walker, and Jaden Akins.
Filipowski from the baseline with a jumper over Monty Sissoko. The Michigan State starting 5 brought to you by Dove Men Plus Care. Again, extremely experienced. Walker's a 5th-year player. Hall's a 5th-year player. Akins is a junior who's got a ton of experience. And for Duke, 1 freshman in the starting lineup, Jared McCain. You will see 2 or 3 other freshmen, for the Blue Devils tonight as Sissoko rips down the rebound for the Spartans.
Jared McCain missed that shot, but things seem to run smoother when he's on the floor. Versatile player, just a winner, and can really guard.
Duke 14-4 all-time against Michigan State, including 3-1 in the Champions Classic over the years. Tough catch in traffic, and Filipowski got Sissoko.
Great play by Mitchell to come over from the weak side as Sissoko was making that catch. Forced him to score over, and Sissoko couldn't do it.
Jeremy Roach cut off on the baseline and turns it over.
This is where Michigan State has to excel in transition.
Hoggard follows it up, but it won't go down. And a missed opportunity for what looked like an easy 2.
Well, they had the advantage, but Duke able to challenge at the rim, just make it difficult for Hoggard. Well, you can tell that Filipowski is going to put Sissoko in as many ball screens on the perimeter as possible.
Slips this one, kicks it out to the corner. McCain wide open and misses the baseline 3.
Michigan State has to run. They've got to get transition opportunities, usually a strength of the Spartans.
Yeah, if you say to Tom Izzo, how often do you want to run? He says all the time.
And twice on Sunday.
Hall, good matchup here with a good defender in Mitchell. Jump hook, no good. Knocked out of bounds, and it belongs to Duke.
Mitchell, such a good defender, forcing Hall to go away from the basket. But that was excellent by Mark Mitchell to come over from the weak side just as that roll, just as Sissoko was catching it. And the vertical contest by Tyrese Proctor against Hoggard, and Mitchell there to bother it as well. That's what Duke wants to do, is make Michigan State take contested non-paint 2s.
And Jay, Tom Izzo's already gone to his bench. Sissoko is out, and Carson Cooper, number 15 in white, a 6'11 sophomore from Jackson, Michigan, is in his place. Filipowski short on the 3. And it's Michigan State ball.
It'll be a challenge for Cooper to guard Filipowski out on the perimeter. Cooper more of an interior player that thrives down in the low post, but a very good screener and has great hands.
Filipowski 25 in a win over Dartmouth, 25 in a loss to Arizona Friday night at Cameron Indoor Stadium. A terrific game with the Wildcats playing extremely well and winning by 5 in a hostile environment.
A good pass by Tyson Walker. He came off that screen, then got a rescreen, but Jeremy Roach negotiated that pretty well to be there on the catch.
Mitchell bullying his way inside, called for the offensive foul.
Well, that's a primary defender there, maintaining legal guarding position. He stays right in front, and Mitchell just turns right into his chest, knocks him back. Now Mitchell got hit as he was going up, but it's that dropping the shoulder. And then he got hit on the arm after that, but he had already committed the offensive foul.
And Mitchell to the bench, a freshman Sean Stewart, a McDonald's All-American, 6'9" freshman from Windermere, Florida. Outstanding athlete, leaper, who has played not a ton in the first 2 games, but figures to be a bigger and bigger part of this team as the season goes along. Hoggard, good defense. Proctor turns him over. Now Roach.
And Proctor has proven difficult to get around. He had to go right through his chest.
Travel on Roach.
Jon Scheyer was not happy with his team in their play against Arizona. They had a chance to win the game. They were up with about 30 seconds to go, and Arizona won the game. Arizona was more physical. They were tougher on the glass. And it was remindful of Jon Scheyer of last year's game in the tournament against Tennessee. And so they're looking to be tougher and more physical in this game against Michigan State.
Tyson Walker misses the elbow jumper. Offensive rebound down to Jaden Akins. And now an offensive foul on Jeremy Fears Jr., a freshman from Joliet, Illinois, who had just checked into the game. Just 3-2 in the early going here in this one. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And new Sonic cheeseburgers starting at $3.99 for a limited time only at Sonic. The school mascots are here in town. They visited 360 Chicago today to take in a view of downtown and Lake Michigan, and also went on a relaxing river cruise courtesy of Shoreline Sightseeing. I wonder if Holly Rowe was on that cruise. Holly?
I only wish we were here at shoot-arounds, but you know, it's a really cool homecoming of sorts for Duke coach Jon Scheyer. He went to high school at Glenbrook North, about 18 miles away from here, and he was a legend in this area. He was told he should transfer to a bigger, better school, and he said, no, I'm going to build something special at this high school, and he did. 2006 Illinois Mr. Basketball. He is still to this day 4th in Illinois high school basketball scoring. He once had 21 points in 75 seconds. I've still not figured out how he did it, but he was one of the best to ever play in this state. He said he played in this building as a senior and had 31 points for Duke. His mom and dad, Jim and Lori, are here tonight. A lot of friends and family, and his parents said, you know, we got a little misty-eyed walking in here. We brought our son to so many games here in this building so he could watch Michael Jordan play. And Jon Scheyer himself said, you know what, I got emotional walking in here today with my team. Now he's here as the head coach of Duke.
Yeah, can you imagine coming here as a kid to watch the Bulls, then playing one game here in your collegiate career when you're a player for Duke, and now coming in here as a head coach? And he did joke with us earlier today that he thinks he's got the second highest scoring average in United Center history behind only Michael Jordan. Of course, the qualification for Scheyer is minimum 1 game played, but 31 in 1 game, pretty good.
Sissoko back in the game guarding Kyle Filipowski. Then he spaces out to the three-point line. That's going to be difficult to guard.
Proctor to Stewart, but he shuffled his feet. That's 4 turnovers already committed by the Blue Devils.
You know, Michigan State going to a bigger lineup. Xavier Booker, the freshman from Indianapolis, the lefty who's super long and athletic. That gives him a very big 4-5 combination along with Sissoko.
Be interesting to see. He's not as strong maybe as they'd like him to get in East Lansing. He's got all kinds of skills. Sissoko a tough shot. And Stewart down with it for Duke.
The smart defense by Filipowski. Just stayed between Sissoko and the basket, made him finish a tough shot where he was going away from the hoop a little bit. That jump hook.
Deflected by Fears, and turnovers plaguing the Blue Devils right now. Fears lays it in.
Jeremy Fears is going to be a great player. Tom Izzo has likened him to a young Mateen Cleaves with his leadership, his defense, his passing ability. And I think when he told Fears that, he was like, who? I wasn't born when he was playing.
Doesn't that make you feel old?
Yes.
Good grief.
A lot of things do.
Yeah.
Especially in the second game where the grandson of a guy I played against is in the game.
Darn, I wanted to bring that out and use that against you. I still will. Fears for 3. This is Caleb Foster, another part of a Duke freshman class that is ranked 2nd in the nation. Foster from Harrisburg, North Carolina. McCain is fouled. And it'll be Tyson Walker called.
Well, Jeremy Roach just trying to make a pass over the top to Filipowski, but Fears got his hands on it, able to take it the other way. And this is the kind of transition that Michigan State needs. They need to get some easy baskets. That's always been the Michigan State way. And I think Tom Izzo he may not be pleased so far with his offense, but the Spartans defense has been excellent so far.
Last year, Michigan State 21-13. They were a 7 seed, made it to the Sweet 16 before losing in overtime to Kansas State. 5 of their top 6 scorers are back, so you can understand why expectations are very high for this team. And this guy, part of the freshman class, keep an eye on 55 in white, Cohen Carr, who is one of the great athletes in college basketball. As Sissoko traveled. Looked like it might have been called a foul. 2 officials with different things, but Paul Sells saying that it was a travel before the contact.
It's a good cut by Sissoko. The pass right on the money. He's just got to go straight up. I think he looked and saw McCain there, and it was a foul, but he'd already walked.
Duke 1 for 6 with 5 turnovers so far. Into Filipowski.
Sissoko doing a great job of making him catch it so far off the lane.
2 guys who like physical basketball, and this battle goes to Filipowski.
What great footwork to be able to spin with a little drop step and get all the way to the rim.
Is he as tough of an inside-outside cover as there is in college basketball?
He's right up there, and he's shooting it so well. He shot 25% from 3 last year. He's almost 60% this year. Good pass.
Carr to Sissoko, and he lays it in.
And Sissoko did a great job. Anytime there's a drive, big guy needs to get to the front of the rim, and Sissoko did just that. Great catch and finish, but a terrific pass by Carr.
Mitchell is fouled hard and will go to the line.
Filipowski shows great patience. Just got Sissoko on the top side and able to spin away from his body, and he was able to use the left hand to kiss it off the glass. Yeah, but his ability to pick and pop, he can roll hard to the basket, especially when he's got an open side pick and roll opportunity. And then he can post. He can post right on the lane, or he can post off of it and face up and still be a really difficult cover.
And he'll get a breather as Ryan Young checks into the game now. With more on Filipowski, here's Holly.
You see that great mobility and movement from him. I talked to him today. He's coming off dual hip surgery in the offseason. He said, I haven't felt this normal since before I got to Duke. He said he was in so much pain last year. It was a struggle at times, but he had both of the heads of his hip bones shaved down so that they would move better in his socket. He also had his left labrum tear repaired. It was a difficult rehab, but he said he is feeling so good and feeling the strength and power coming back into his hips.
Yeah, John Shire told us on Friday, Jay, that he's more explosive and he's more confident. He certainly didn't look like he lacked for confidence last year, but, you know, easy to be more confident when you're healthier. Nice move by Malik Hall.
Well, getting Malik Hall down into the post, he can operate all over the floor, but he's most dangerous, I believe, in the post. Boy, hearing all those ailments sounded like my friends on the first tee.
Roach guarded by Trey Holloman, who was checked into the game for Michigan State. Now Young the ball screen. Foster the kick. Roach the 3. Count it.
A good job by Duke to play out of that little ball screen action and get it to the other side of the floor. Carson Cooper did a nice job of showing and then recovering. Good move.
Nice kick by Cooper. But the 3 won't go down for Holloman.
And those are shots that Michigan State generally makes. But it has been difficult, a difficult shooting start for the Spartans to this season.
A 9-9 tie, 8:15 in with Kyle Filipowski, as is usually the way, leading the way at times offensively for Duke, but getting some help from Jeremy Roach on the perimeter.
Well, Jeremy Roach makes big shots, able to get it over Holloman and knock it down.
Welcome back. Time now for our Wooden Watch, presented by Principal.
Look at these pictures. What are these guys yelling about? Their first team All-Americans in the preseason. But Zach Edey leading the way the big man from Purdue, and Kyle Filipowski, who's in this game, off to a great start. And how about Justin Moore coming back for Villanova? Armando Bacot set the all-time record for double-doubles, the all-time leading rebounder at the University of North Carolina. And Tyson Walker in this game as well. And Oumar Ballo was fantastic in the game against Duke. And talk about fantastic. Magic Johnson, Irvin Magic Johnson, played for Judd Heathcote along with Greg Kelser and won the 1979 NCAA championship against Larry Bird and Indiana State.
And played the game with an unrivaled joy, too. Always a smile on his face as he was making incredible plays. Tom Izzo, the 2000 National Championship, 8 Final Fours. He knows he's got a good team.
Nobody's had more Final Fours among Big Ten coaches, and you can't run along the baseline. That was after a turnover. And that's just a communication issue, and Mark Mitchell should have known that.
Turnover number 6 committed by Duke in just over 8 minutes of action.
I think Michigan State has to get Jaden Akins going. A little screen for the screener action to get him the ball along the baseline. But he's got to be aggressive and score. He's leading his team in rebounding, averaging 9 rebounds a game from the guard spot.
Cooper short, Young the rebound. Tyson Walker has scored 49 points in the first 2 games for Michigan State. He has dominated offensively. Nobody else is in double figures for the Spartans. Who do you think is the most likely to be the guy to step up and help him out a little bit?
Well, Malik Hall's gotten off to a good start in this game, but I think it's Jaden Akins. I think this year he should be ready to take off. But they've got a number of weapons. A.J. Hoggard can give you double figures.
Good defense by Hoggard to force another Duke turnover.
Well, it's good defense. Excellent defense. But Caleb Foster's just dribbling too much here. You got to move the ball. It's multiple dribbles. Where's he going? He's got guys reaching in and trying to go through the chest of a stronger upperclassman in A.J. Hoggard. And I think that was one of the things that pressure affected Duke against Arizona. And at times they didn't move the ball the way they need to against pressure.
15 possessions, 7 turnovers now for the Blue Devils. 9 minutes in, tied at 9. Walker back into the game for the Spartans.
Boy, good help on that wide pin down. Kyle Filipowski was right there so that Tyson Walker couldn't shoot over him.
Hall can't get by Filipowski. Akins steps in. The lefty misses the jumper. Cooper the rebound. And the 3 from Jaden Akins.
What great ball movement after the offensive rebound by Cooper. Kicks it out. And all of a sudden the best place to score is the other side of the floor. And that may get Jaden Akins going a little bit. What a great rebound by Carson Cooper.
And Michigan State has as many made threes tonight, 2 as they had total in the first 2 games. And another turnover as Roach is called for the travel.
The Spartans are swarming to the ball, but everything for Duke is off the first side of the floor. Reverse it to the other side and then attack. Watch this rebound. Great hands by Cooper, kicks it out. The ball never touches the floor. And isn't it uncanny? After an offensive rebound, that's always the best time to shoot a 3. And even though it wasn't an immediate step-in 3, the ball movement created that.
When Michigan State is really good in recent years, everybody gets a touch. The assist totals are very high. Boy, again, a battle here between Hall. Filipowski stays in front of him. Walker refusing the screen, gets into the paint.
Good kick out.
Hall's open. Boy, and even the misses they've had have been very good looks from beyond the arc for the Spartans.
And this is a good shooting team. It was an excellent shooting team. They led the Big Ten in three-point shooting. Terrific job with the high-low look. Going against a guard, Ryan Young just held him off, and a good pass by Filipowski because there wasn't any pressure on him delivering that ball.
Young, the 5th-year senior, second year with the Blue Devils after coming over from Northwestern.
Seems like so far the length that Tyrese Proctor has affected Tyson Walker and his ability to get looks, and then the help. There's been excellent help from the big guys. But look, you get the little high-low pass, not enough pressure, and you just throw right over the top of Tyson Walker, who had to switch off onto Ryan Young. That's a mismatch size-wise.
Walker has not scored yet in this game, has attempted only 1 shot. Michigan State's not been to the free throw line yet in this game.
And that's been a strength so far the first couple games. Different level of competition in this one.
Proctor to McCain. Boy, again, a lot of dribbling and a lot of traffic and a tough shot. Another good defensive stand by the Spartans.
Well, your point about a lot of dribbling, the dribble to pass ratio is way off for Duke. Far more dribbles, probably 10-to-1 dribbles to passes.
Sissoko turns it over. Good hands by Filipowski. And fouled aggressively to the rim, and a foul by Sissoko.
Duke is doing a really nice job on the big guys of Michigan State, just staying between them and the basket, trying to make them score over. And Sissoko didn't want to shoot over the top of Ryan Young, so he tried to pass out of it, which led to the turnover.
And my mistake, foul on Hogard to send Filipowski to the line. Coming up Sunday on ABC, a matchup you won't want to miss. Duke women's basketball taking on number 6 Stanford inside Maples Pavilion. It comes your way at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific.
Duke going to have to deal with Cameron Brink, one of the best all-around players in women's college basketball. And Duke just played the USA national team in Cameron Indoor Stadium. Kara Lawson was able to set that game up, and that must have been awesome for the Duke players to play against their heroes. Diana Taurasi, Sabrina Ionescu.
Jalen Blakes is into the game now for Duke, and he's on Tyson Walker at the moment. Akins is wide open in the corner. They're getting the looks, but they've only been able to knock down 2 from beyond the arc in 8 tries.
And so many of these have been wide open. That was a great find by Jeremy Fears, cross court. Little hook pass, and Jaden Akins wide open in the corner.
Michigan State, a very deep team. 6 perimeter players all in the rotation, splitting time at the 3 perimeter spots for the Spartans. McCain from the corner. And Filipowski called for the foul. His first.
Picked up a little cheap one there, but a great block out by Malik Hall. Tom Izzo calls them cutouts, and he wants to see him hit, find, and fetch.
As always, the State Farm Champions Classic, an outstanding doubleheader. In game 2 tonight, 2 blue bloods, the Kentucky Wildcats and the number 1 ranked team in the nation in the early going this year, the Kansas Jayhawks. It is a Sonic blockbuster, and it is a game, Mr. Billis, both of us are really looking forward to.
Well, Kentucky, very young, but uber talented. They don't have their big guys. There are 3 7-footers that are sitting out right now. So Kentucky is small, and Kansas has a veteran group back along with Hunter Dickinson, who transferred in from Michigan, and he's leading that team in scoring. About 20 points per game, 8 rebounds, and he's been very, very efficient. And I think you can expect that Kansas is going to try to punch the ball inside at every opportunity against the smaller Kentucky Wildcats.
Yeah, as John Calipari said, it was a shoot-around today. It's not rocket science. What we're going to try to do, they're smaller, try to space them out and dribble drive, that sort of thing, and it's not rocket science what they're going to try to do, and that's going to use the size of Hunter Dickinson on the interior. Boy, oh boy, it has become a turnover fest here in this game. 8 on Duke, but now 7 on Michigan State.
Well, it's been a physical game, and you have to run through your cuts. You have to wait for a screen before you take off. But Kyle Filipowski did an excellent job. They were trying to get, Michigan State was trying to get an elbow catch on the free throw line for Malik Hall, and he forced it further out, just extending that catch.
The second on the freshman, Jeremy Fears Jr. He's gone to the bench. A.J. Hogard has returned. Proctor can't get all the way inside. Eventually Blakes from the corner. And did that hit the backboard on the corner and then the rim?
It did.
It did. That's an unusual one. But a Michigan State foul on Carson Cooper.
Sort of a grab on the block out.
Jay, 7 fouls now on Michigan State to just 2 on Duke. So 1-1 for Young.
Ryan Young transferred into Duke last year as a grad transfer from Northwestern, where he played for Chris Collins, who I'm sure is watching this game saying, hey, John Shire went to my high school. I was a high school legend.
By the way, the 21 points in 75 seconds, I'm told, was 5 threes and 6 free throws. That no matter how you slice and dice it, that's a lot of points and not a lot of time.
And it's also a lot of turnovers by the other team. Good pass. See, these shots have to go down. You're not going to get more wide open shots, but you also have to think that Michigan State has to put more pressure on the rim. They cannot just be a jump shooting team against Duke. They got to get into the lane and force Duke to foul them a little bit. That's one of the reasons Duke has only got 2 fouls. It's been mostly jump shots.
Proctor misses a 3. Great effort by Blakes to tip it back out. And a mismatch here. Akins on Filipowski. And here comes the help. Open underneath is Young.
Well, they went with a triple team. Malik Hall went over and then Carson Cooper, so they had too many on the ball. And did Filipowski pick up his second?
He did.
Yeah, just a miscommunication. So you got Akins on Filipowski. He does need some help. So Malik Hall digging down. Now Carson Cooper comes over. And then Ryan Young just able to get in front of A.J. Hoggard, who doesn't get in front of him. And just a great pass by Filipowski for the easy bucket.
And a big loss as he goes to the bench with his second. And now a shot goes down and a foul as well.
And Michigan State needed that, and so did Tyson Walker, just to get going. And Walker, who's averaging 9 free throws a game on this young season, had 35 against James Madison. Just the screen by Cooper was just able to pick off Proctor enough where he could get into that shot.
You know the crazy thing about Walker's 35 against the Dukes, he did not make a 3 and he missed 6 free throws. He went 11 for 17 and he still scored 35 points in the game.
He was basically all of the offense for Michigan State because they couldn't buy a bucket. They were 1 of 20 from 3-point range, missed 17 free throws.
Walker in and out. And Michigan State now 2 for 10 from 3.
Well, the makeable shots, but again, they're all jump shots. And there's been nothing in the lane. Duke is winning the battle of the paint.
Mitchell into the paint and draws the foul.
Mark Mitchell is such an important player for Duke. The 6'9" sophomore from Kansas City. He had 9 points and 5 rebounds, a couple of blocks against Arizona. But Arizona really played off of him and forced him to be a playmaker, to try to make a perimeter shot. And that's not his strength, but he can guard anybody.
And now one of the officials, Paul Sells, has gone to the monitor, perhaps to make sure they have the foul on the right player. Just guessing right now, but it was called on Tyson Walker, his second. And obviously this is important. If it is number 2 on number 2, then he is likely going to the bench. Is it the reach in on Walker or is it the body by Hall?
Yeah, I thought they called it on the shot on Hall because it was just a little swipe here. You see Tyson Walker swipe, but I don't think that's where they called it. Just wasn't enough contact, if any. But I thought it was that because of the kind of arm in his chest, the arm bar on him right there. But who knows, maybe they did call it on Walker because he was there a little bit longer than it appeared at first.
Tom Izzo would much prefer for it to be on Hall because it would be just the first on Hall.
As our friend Bill Rafter used to say, take your pick.
And after the look at the monitor, it is on Hall. So that's what Tom Izzo wanted. So that's 1 on Walker and 1 on Hall, and they can both stay in the game.
Really, you can see the difference. Duke is doing a better job at driving in the lane, getting a piece of the paint, forcing help and playing out of it, but picking up these fouls. And Michigan State has been more of a jump shooting team in this first half.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by DirecTV. Stop compromising, start watching. Upgrade to DirecTV. The second one will bounce home, so Mitchell makes both of them. Looked like he almost came out of his shoe as he was backpedaling down the court. He looked down as if he had tripped over something, but there was nothing there.
It's amazing how often shoes come off in college basketball.
High tops.
It's like, yeah, high tops, like they don't tie them.
This is what Tom Izzo wants from A.J. Hoggard. Get going downhill, as the kids say.
Just got a little ball screen out top. He's able to turn the corner, use that off arm a little bit as he comes off this screen. He actually didn't really get much of a screen, but there was action out top, and he's able to get right in the lane, go right down the pipe. And because it was the middle of the floor, it's a lot harder to bring help. That's not a good foul by Malik Hall. He wasn't going to get that ball, just a cheap one. Now you walk 94 feet.
And it's his second. Remember, he just picked up his first after they went to the monitor, so now Tom Izzo may have a decision to make with Hall. What are you doing? Why is all he's saying?
Yeah, and there's never a good answer.
No.
Whenever a coach asks you a question like that, why,
Yeah.
I think it's more rhetorical.
And for it to come from a fifth-year senior, too.
My favorite question that you would get from a coach is, what are you doing? I don't know.
Yeah, there's no good answer
There's
to
no
that,
good
right?
answer.
No. And a fairly spirited conversation between two guys who have known each other for 5 years. And Hall's got to sit for it looks like the last 5.5. As Xavier Booker's back in.
And that really is limiting for the front court offense of Michigan State. Now Xavier Booker can shoot it. Left-handed, he can shoot at the three-point range, and he's super athletic. Wide open.
Nice look. Hoggard to Cooper.
A great reversal of the ball, then the ball screen on the open side and the roll to the basket. Duke had 2 on the ball. There's nobody to come over from the weak side. Well executed by Michigan State.
4th assist of the game for Hoggard.
Caleb Foster got A.J. Hoggard up in the air, but he needs to make one strong dribble, get all the way to the rim there.
Proctor turnaround. Just short. Cooper, good strong rebound. Michigan State running. Akins kicking.
Good kick out.
Hoggard open and around and out. And the entire Michigan State bench, they all stood up when the ball was released, and then they all sat back down. They have seen good shot after good shot not go down for this team tonight. At the other end, one goes down for Proctor.
And it was because of the penetration. And there's a thought that when Jaden Akins was taking the ball to the basket there, he kicked it out. They got a great jump shot. But take it all the way to the rim, make Duke foul you. I think Michigan State has to be more aggressive taking the ball to the hole.
Booker misses the 3. Spartans now 2 for 12.
And a jump shooting team. And you are not going to get fouled taking jump shots.
Mitchell the shot fake into some traffic. Count it and one.
He was in the restricted arc. Paul Sells pointing at it. And Carson Cooper there was a secondary defender.
Largest lead of the game now for the Blue Devils. And Mitchell to the line when we come back.
Kevin Connors, Coach Seth Greenberg, and
Did you miss me?
Do I know you?
Did you miss me?
What, your name is who?
The brother you never had.
Yeah, the little brother I never had. Jay Williams. Coming up on the Jeep Halftime Report, we'll preview our second game, Kansas, Kentucky. Physical and great defense.
Is it physical? I mean, you got to set a screen for it to be physical, Seth.
Look, both teams' defenses are well ahead of the offense. Someone's got to get in the lane and make a play for someone else besides a 3.
Got to make a play.
Dan and Jay, we'll see you at the half.
Kevin, guys, thank you very much. Duke by 6 moments ago. John Shire in the Duke huddle.
Our defense has been solid. At the State Farm Stadium. Look, when we get shots, be confident. When we have shots, be confident. When you drive, like the last time you kicked it, and then you just stay there. You're clogging it up. You got to get out. You got to bring it back up for somebody else. Keep spacing and keep flowing in.
Spacing, the theme there, right?
Spacing's a theme, but also playing with pace. They want to get the ball up court and get into their flow game. But right now there's a little bit of a crowd in the lane, but that crowd in the lane means when you get a piece of the paint, you collapse the defense, you can kick it out for an open 3. Like, those are really good threes. And that's not what we're seeing right now for Michigan State. Michigan State right now, they've taken a lot of threes. Almost half their shots have been from the three-point line, but you can tell the difference in aggressiveness to the rim, putting pressure on the rim. Duke shot 10 free throws, about to be 11 right here when Mark Mitchell takes this one. Michigan State shot 2.
And Duke has stopped turning it over, which really plagued them in the first 6-7 minutes of the game. So Mitchell looking for the three-point play, made the bucket on the whistle that sent us to the timeout, and now looking for the free throw as well, and makes it.
You know, Tom Izzo can't be too upset with his defense. I mean, they've held Duke with just under 4 minutes left at 25 points. It's just Michigan State cannot score right now. You know, when they get the ball in the post, they haven't been able to score over the top. They're not getting anything off penetration.
And all kinds of contact between Foster and Walker, and Foster called for the foul.
Smart play by Tyson Walker. He's got a freshman on him, just slow played him and forced him to grab. Otherwise, he would have come off that dribble handoff ready to turn the corner. Now Proctor going to switch back on Walker. That puts a little bit more size on him. Proctor's an excellent perimeter defender.
Holloman in the game as well, a guy who really had a terrific summer, the Spartans say, worked on his jump shot and has worked his way, it looks like, into a bigger role than he had last year. Walker splits a couple of defenders, but it rolls off the rim and out of bounds to the Blue Devils.
And those floaters are not easy shots. You know, it's certainly a shot that Tyson Walker can and does make. But right now, there's a lid on that bucket for Michigan State. That's been a consistent theme in their first 3 games.
And with guys like Sissoko, Cooper, and the freshman Booker, none of them really the guys you throw the ball into the post and say, hey, go get me a bucket, right?
Yeah, they have to have an angle to the basket or rolling. That's got away with a walk. Oh, he did walk.
Yep. McCain called for the travel.
And when Duke's had success on the offensive end in the half court, it's when they've been able to get a ball reversal or two. When they're attacking off the first side of the first action, it's going to be hard to get anything off Michigan State.
Walker off a screen, but Proctor stays with him.
Michigan State just slow getting into their ball screen action.
Carr. Double team, Mitchell with a block, out of bounds. Mark Mitchell, a terrific defender, can guard just about any spot on the floor.
Yeah, he can switch off onto a guard and guard for multiple dribbles. Got great timing. You know, the lefty just angles Carr underneath the basket. You know, he couldn't stop him from getting there, but he could angle him to where he can't get a decent shot.
Got some help from Sean Stewart as well. Shot clock's at 2. Carr gets it off, and it goes.
He is a spectacular athlete, and the referee is going to take a look and see whether he got that off before the clock hit triple zeros.
Ooh,
it's close.
On his fingertips there.
This could be, did he trim his nails? Yeah, I think it was still in his fingers.
I think it was. Boy, live I thought he got rid of it in time, but I think you're right. I don't think he did.
It's hard to tell. Like, is it, you know, it's going to look like it's on there because the angle's from behind.
Yeah.
But I think it was still on.
And they have waved it off.
There really is a lid on that basket. Even when it goes in, it doesn't go in.
18 points in 17.5 minutes for Michigan State, despite getting a lot of open looks, but unable to knock them down, not getting to the free throw line, and even the 2 times they got there, as you mentioned, they didn't make them.
But to Michigan State's credit, they have not stopped guarding. But sooner or later, when you don't have success on the offensive end, it seems to get to your defense. It is hard to pitch shutouts.
Young getting some minutes. Filipowski on the bench with a couple of fouls, and rattled home by Caleb Foster. He was the first one in this class to commit. Told Jon Scheyer, regardless of Proctor Roach, are they staying, are they going? He said, Coach, I'm coming. And he was the first of this outstanding Duke class. There's one that'll go for the Spartans. Tyson Walker.
And the penetration is what's important. Putting pressure on the Duke defense by getting into the lane. Caleb Foster, you mentioned he was the first to commit. He's considered to be, you know, the best shooter coming out of high school last year. And he can really drill it. But a terrific job, just turn down that screen and get past Tyrese Proctor and just able to float that in off the front of the rim. But even not making a shot, you know, Michigan State's only 3 possessions down in this game. And you see what Duke's trying to do with Tyson Walker. They're top blocking. They're staying on top of him so he can't come off these screens. They're just trying to drive him down into the baseline.
Holloman misses a three. Sissoko kept it alive, and we got a scrum.
I think it's going to be Duke ball with the arrow.
Duke basketball.
And it is. Sissoko looks like he's heading to the bench. Carson Cooper back in for the Spartans.
And that's where the second foul on Malik Hall limits what Tom Izzo can do, and also limits the offense for Michigan State, not having that hybrid 3-4 threat that can shoot it, can post.
Hall is their leading scorer in this game for what it's worth, and that's just with 5 points. Nobody else has more than 4 for the Spartans.
It'd be great if like 6 guys had 5.
Yes. Nice pull up there from the foul line for Proctor.
Tyson Walker looking at the official saying, hey man, I got picked off with an illegal screen, but nobody was listening.
Carr, just an explosive athlete, can't get to the rim. Mitchell stays with him.
Well, Mitchell could help off on that roll to the basket because he knows that Carr is not a shooter, but he is a lob threat in that corner.
Akins, he's a shooter, but he misses the three. He was 42% from beyond the arc last year, but Michigan State still can't buy one.
Good fake.
Roach. And a foul called on Holloman that will send Roach to the line for 3.
That little shot fake side dribble, and Holloman trying to recover and just wound up fouling a 3-point shooter. Not a very smart foul by the sophomore. Just reaches out, get a little pressure, but you can't hit his arm.
Roach, a guy who in Duke's last game, the loss to Arizona on Friday, surpassed the 1,000-point mark as a Duke Blue Devil, becoming the 68th Blue Devil to reach 1,000 points, a club that you are a member of.
Yeah, it's 1,000 points is the mark of a great career.
He's going to pass you in a couple of weeks. I hate to break the news.
It might not take a couple of weeks. It might be tonight.
Yeah. Friday, 2 ACC men's basketball matchups. First, Bucknell at Duke at 6 Eastern, and then UC Riverside take it on North Carolina at 8 Eastern. Catch all the action on ACC Network and the app.
Who would you say is Bucknell's most famous basketball alum?
Oh, I should know this. Tell me what I should know, but don't.
Jay Wright.
Jay Wright.
He was a Bucknell Bison.
Timeout, Michigan State to set up a final possession here in a first half in which they have struggled.
More.
31-20 Duke, 17 seconds remaining in the first half. Michigan State ball, and if you're Tom Izzo, you know, he talked to us before the game today about the three-point shooting woes they had in the first 2 games. 2 for 31 combined. They're 2 for 13 tonight, so it's a little bit better, but it's just not good enough the way that they have gotten their shots here tonight.
Well, first of all, I'm not Tom Izzo, but Michigan State having 11 more shots than Duke.
Yep.
And 11 fewer points, but the difference has been the free throw line. Duke's getting to the free throw line, Michigan State is not.
Can you do a Tom Izzo impersonation if asked?
I can't get my voice that gravelly.
Yeah. Hogard. Akins. Good. And it's knocked away. 3 seconds for Duke. Mitchell lost it, and it's out of bounds to end the first half. So maybe fittingly, each team ends the half with a turnover, but it is 31-20 Duke as Duke started very slowly. They heated up. Michigan State never did heat up. And they've got a double-digit deficit. John Shires with Holly Rowe.
Well, Coach, a lot of early turnovers, but what did you say to address it? Because it improved drastically.
Well, just sticking with it. You know, our defense is really good. We have to be smarter on offense, and that's on me. That's on. We gotta get a shot up. You know, we can't go last part of the half. We have to get. It's not 2 for 1. We have to hold it for the last shot, and we need to get a shot up at the end. But they're playing hard. You know, Flip. We got them out of the half with 2 fouls. We just have to keep up with our defense.
And your paint defense has been great. 42 points given up in your last game. That's improved?
Well, they don't stop moving. And look, for us, that's going to be who we have to be. We have to protect our paint. We have to do it collectively. It's not just going to be one guy. I thought our effort was great on defense. It's not going to be perfect on offense. We have to continue to play. And they're really good on the defensive end. They make it hard on you. They do the same thing. They want to take away their paint. So we need to have better poise, be strong with the ball in traffic, and when we have our shots, shoot them with confidence.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you, Howard.
Homecoming for Jon Scheyer. The Blue Devils up 11.5 against Michigan State. Let's send you back to the studio now, and Kevin Connors. Game one between Duke and Michigan State. Both teams were having trouble putting the ball in the basket. Kyle Filipowski with a couple of buckets for Duke, but saw his minutes cut short in the first half after picking up his second foul. He played 12 minutes in the first half. Michigan State really struggled to score. Tyson Walker, who's averaging better than 24 a game through the first two, has 4 points in the first half for the Spartans. This is an ESPN Sonic Blockbuster. We're coming to you from the United Center here in Chicago. Duke leading Michigan State by 11. And when Duke didn't turn it over, some good things happened offensively.
Yeah, when they got good spacing, they were able to move the ball from side to side. They got into some ball screen action, and they really got Michigan State, in my judgment, to overhelp. You can see right now they've got a little high-low action. There's a mismatch inside with Tyson Walker on Ryan Young inside. They just throw over the top, and now you can see a little pick and roll right in the slot. Now Michigan State here overhelps. Now you get two wide open shooters on the side, and Jeremy Roach able to get off that easy in rhythm three-point shot, and then basically a double drag, roll, pop, and then overhelp everybody in the lane. You just kick it out to Proctor for the step-in three. But really the difference has been the free throw line. Duke 11 of 14 from the foul line. Michigan State 0 for 2. That's an indication of aggressiveness and putting pressure on the rim.
Ready for the start of the second half here in this Sonic Blockbuster. Game one of two. Don't forget Kansas and Kentucky still to come in the second game tonight from Chicago.
There's that wide pin down, top blocking, just trying to stay on top. But sometimes when you do that, the tendency is to reach out and grab, and that's what Jared McCain did right there.
Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, I asked Michigan State, Tom Izzo, what do you do to get more flow on offense? And he said, honestly, I'm pretty happy with our shot selection. He said, we missed 4 shots that I would have bet my life on. They're good looks. We've just got to make them fall. 2 for 13 from three-point range. He just needs to hit the three. But he did say their defense has been steady. The biggest problem was putting Mark Mitchell on the free throw line, 7 for 7 from the line. He said, we got to clean that up. But when Malik Hall went out with those 2 fouls, it really impacted how we defended.
And Jon Scheyer's got a question for the officials. Maybe a shot clock situation or a timing issue of some sort.
Zero, the Blue Devils, Jared McCain, his first personal foul.
I think they'd called out the wrong foul.
Yeah, they called it out on Roach, but it should be on McCain.
Yeah, I think Tom Izzo's going, you can't do that later. You got to do it in the middle of one of our plays.
You know, the funny thing about all the missed shots for Michigan State, 2 for 13 from 3, they made their first one of the game. Malik Hall made a 3. The first one they took, just 1 for 12 after that. And it's got to be just such a feeling of helplessness as a coach when you're getting good looks and guys who have had success in the past making those shots just can't make them.
Yeah, Jaden Akins having to take that tough one at the end of a shot clock. That whistle actually put them with a short clock.
Proctor the kick, Roach in the corner. And a good job by Sissoko to come down with a rebound.
What a pass.
Great feed. Hoggard into Hall. And running may be the best bet that Michigan State has offensively right now.
Well, that's what they have to do. That's their identity. And it has not been necessarily their identity early in the year, but a great box out and outlet. Butt to the sideline on the catch. No pressure. That is the threading of a needle to Malik Hall.
And Michigan State now 0 for 3, and then Sissoko over the back.
And you wonder if that kind of thing is a little bit of frustration trying to make something happen, because that's not a rebound that Sissoko is going to get most of the time. It's just a needless foul on the big guy.
when you look at this group on the floor for the Spartans, the needless fouls, to use your term. I mean, this is an incredibly experienced group that Tom Izzo has on the floor right now. And he was really upset with Malik Hall after he picked up his second foul in the first half. McCain. Now Proctor gets inside and lays it home.
Just that drive by McCain, then kicking it opposite. Anytime the ball touches the other side of the floor, it really puts the defense in a bad spot.
Hoggard much more of a driver than a shooter. The kick to Hall, and he'll make a corner three.
That's just a beautiful pass. You know, the action in the middle of the floor on the right side, and to be able to see and deliver that pass to the far corner. That's a big-time pass by A.J. Hoggard.
And, Jay, that's his 6th assist of the night. McCain, who has deep range, misses a three for Duke.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was the shot that Jon Scheyer wanted that early in the shot clock. Make Michigan State guard a little bit more than that.
Hoggard up top. Sissoko, the catch in traffic, and can't finish it.
He's got to go up right away. You know, he's hesitating and then allowing the defense to recover.
Filipowski wide open. And off the back of the iron, Michigan State in transition. Hall spins and draws the foul. Mark Mitchell again, and that'll be his third.
Just an aggressive move by Malik Hall with the spin. But watch this pass. The action going to the right. Everybody comes in 2 on the ball, and that little hook pass cross court, that's a big-time pass by A.J. Hoggard. And that 6 assists is no small feat considering there haven't been that many field goals.
Back to Holly.
You guys remember Malik Hall missed 11 games last year due to injury. He had a foot surgery in the offseason. He was out about 5 months, and Coach Izzo and others telling us today that he's just kind of rounding into shape. That's a lot of time to miss, and you can see him coming out with a little bit bigger sense of urgency here in the second half, but it's taken him a little time to get back from that foot injury.
And a great point that how players play now is not necessarily indicative of how they'll play later, and that's the same for a team as a whole. And how many years have we seen Tom Izzo's teams grow and grow and grow over the course of a season?
And remember, this Michigan State team played Tennessee in an exhibition for the relief effort in Maui. Really nice play. Boy, Filipowski does such a good job when he's rolling to the basket of getting open. Always makes that tough catch.
Tough bucket for Walker. You were saying about Michigan State, Tennessee.
Well, they were down 17-1 in that game.
Yeah.
And then came back and had a chance to win it at the end against a team in Tennessee, which I think's got a great chance to get to a Final Four.
They scored 88 points in that game. That was a heck of a game. It was an exhibition game, but it was an 89-88 win for Tennessee.
You know, they're back now to a 2-possession game. You get one stop and a score. All of a sudden, there's a little more game pressure on the Blue Devils. And Carson Cooper's done a nice job in this ball game.
Proctor no, and nobody near the glass for the Blue Devils.
Hard hedges, recovers, then gets to the glass.
Hall. Mitchell's playing with 3. Hall over top. Akins with a putback.
And that's where Duke can be a little bit vulnerable, is on the glass. And Michigan State has always had rebounding in their DNA.
Magic's loving it. And they're on their feet here in Chicago. Timeout taken by Jon Scheyer, as Michigan State has already shaved 7 points off the deficit in the first 3:36 here in the second half. Much better production from Malik Hall and Akins and company here in the second half. And A.J. Hoggard and company are loving what they're seeing right now. Big Blue in the house. Kentucky and Kansas in the second game here with the State Farm Champions Classic. John Calipari, Bill Self, 9:30 Eastern tonight right here on ESPN.
Cal going with the suit.
It's a big night.
Sartorial splendor.
What a difference a half makes, Jay, for Malik Hall and Michigan State.
Oh, he's come out aggressive. He's had one-on-one in the post. Duke is not doubling. They call it fire, where they bring a big-to-big double from the high side. They've chosen not to double Michigan State. And Malik Hall taking advantage of it. And they've also, that transition bucket he got, not only running the floor, but what a pass by A.J. Hoggard.
Mitchell's gone to the bench for Duke with 3 fouls. Ryan Young has returned. Bodies are flying all over the place. Foster finds Filipowski. He's looking for the foul, doesn't get it, but Proctor follows it up. He'll miss it, and it's Michigan State ball.
But Carson Cooper's done a really nice job defensively. He's moving his feet, contesting everything. He's got 6 rebounds, a blocked shot in this game.
Cooper just a sophomore. Pull up at the elbow, around and out. Walker thought he was fouled.
Good action, a little screen, and the re-screen got him that wide open shot. Just couldn't knock it down.
It is really physical right now between Filipowski and Hall.
And Hall needed to be a little bit careful. He forced Filipowski off the lane. Doesn't want to pick up a foul there.
He has got to stay on the floor for the Spartans. Roach can't turn the corner. A contested 3, and it goes for Caleb Foster.
Caleb Foster can come in and knock down shots. That gives Duke another weapon. He can really shoot. At 15 against Dartmouth in the first game of the year, just a natural scorer.
Hall sizing up Filipowski on the perimeter. Tough shot, and it goes.
Showing some versatility, just backing him in the lane. And that turnaround jumper falling away, difficult for Filipowski to get a piece of.
6'8" Hall over the 7-footer Filipowski.
And Jeremy Fears doing a really nice job of denying Caleb Foster.
Ooh, Foster initiated that contact, no call. Young, nice return feed. Proctor and 1.
Just a beautiful give and go. And Young just throwing it right over the shoulder of Carson Cooper to get it to the cutting Tyrese Proctor. It's a great cut by the sophomore from Australia. Malik Hall, that is not an easy shot, but he's starting to feel it now. Just a great give and go past Tyson Walker. Gets the foul, now a free throw.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by New Sonic Cheeseburgers, starting at $3.99 for a limited time only at Sonic. In the Michigan State huddle, Tom Izzo.
If we keep going just one-on-one, and that ball when you get it back, that's you.
Talking about moving the ball, not just going one-on-one.
Yeah, anytime there's ball movement, player movement, and the ball moves from side to side, you put the defense in some difficult positions, and then you can attack. But in the second half, Michigan State has been more active getting the ball into the paint. They're 5 of 9 from the field in the second half, 1 of 1 from 3. In the first half, they took, what, 13 threes?
Yes, and made only 2 of them. Proctor knocks down the free throw to complete the 3-point play. Duke's got it back to an 8-point lead. Good help there by Young, making life tough on Walker, and he forces the turnover.
Well, Ryan Young decides to double, and that had to be a plan coming out of the timeout, but they doubled Tyson Walker to make him give the ball up. He wound up turning it over. But instead of just a hard hedge, they went after him and forced him back, and then he just couldn't hang on to it and wound up stepping out. The horn set, and then a wide pin down.
Roach drives, and good anticipation there by Walker to pick that pass off.
I think he wanted to dump it back to Filipowski on the roll, but just too many arms.
Cooper looked like he might have lost it a little bit on the way up, and that might have cost him.
I think he did, but he's given Michigan State some excellent minutes in this ball game.
He's got 6 rebounds, couple of points in 13 minutes off the bench. Foster steps into it and buries it.
Just much better offense. Ball move from side to side. Ball screen action, then kicking it, and that's what Michigan State needs to do. Get it down court quickly. Just the easy basket in transition after a score.
And Jaden Akins certainly a guy who can get down the court quickly.
He's one of the better two-way players that Tom Izzo has had, maybe since Gary Harris, but he needs to be more aggressive on the offensive end, as Caleb Foster is for Duke right now. He can really score.
Filipowski knocks it out of bounds. Still Michigan State ball.
Just the ball going from side to side. Little zoom action, then kicking it across to Caleb Foster, who was ready to shoot. And then nice little hesitation move to get into the lane and pull up. He's just got a beautiful jump shot. A little bit of a low release, but he is an outstanding shooter.
Foster ranked 24th on the ESPN 100 coming into the season. All 4 members of the Duke freshman class ranked in the top 35. We have not seen TJ Power tonight. He has played
offensive
sparingly so far, and it is offensive, and then that's number 3 on Malik Hall.
Now he's saying that, hey, look, it was a flop, but there was contact where he just went right into him. You know, how they're going to call that an offensive foul every time.
You extend that arm. Remember, it was 11 at the half. Michigan State got it all the way down to 4. It's back up to 11 now.
Caleb Foster's hit some big shots and did it all right in a row.
He's got 10. Proctor's got 10 as well to lead the Blue Devils. Behind the back, Filipowski. How many 7-footers can do that?
Not many. But Duke is spreading the floor right now. And Jon Scheyer saying, wait a minute, that ball was on the rim and they slapped the backboard. That's basket interference. And the officials agreed. Bert Smith going right up to Roger Ayers saying that basket's good.
Well, that couldn't have gone much worse. It's a basket, and at least at the moment, it's a foul on Malik Hall, and that would be his 4th.
Yeah, when the ball's on the rim, you slap the backboard. That's basket interference.
Yeah. Paul Sells is giving Tom Izzo an explanation that Izzo is not really enjoying right now, as Bert Smith and Roger Ayers are looking at the monitor. And they lost their best offensive player again. He picked up his 2nd foul in the first, had to sit for 5-6 minutes, and this will be number 4 on Hall.
Awfully early to pick up your 4th. But that's why you don't want to pick up the cheap ones. I mean, you know, a lot of people say, hey, you got to know time and score, but you have to know time, score, and fouls, and not just team fouls, but you have to know your own fouls as well and make your decisions accordingly.
And now, after reviewing the play, they have taken the basket away. It has been ruled that it was not basket interference, but it is still, of course, the 4th foul on Malik Hall.
Well, maybe that was by design, because you can't go back and look at it unless you call it.
Right.
So calling it allowed them to go look at it, and then they could either confirm it or wave it off. So that there might have been some smart officiating there to make sure that they got to the monitor.
Frustrating night for Hall with the fouls.
Are they going back to the monitor again? Or are they done?
So no basket, which means 2 foul shots on the Hall foul for Kyle Filipowski.
Filipowski has a twin brother who's playing at Harvard for Tommy Amaker. Matt Filipowski.
1 of 2. He could have gone. He could have stayed in the draft. Proctor could have stayed in the draft, but they both came back, and that's why Duke's so highly ranked before the season. Dropped from number 2 to number 9 after the loss to Arizona on Friday night.
Well, I'm told Filipowski didn't even consider going into the draft. That he came in right after the season, said, I'm staying. Boy, it looked like Ryan Young got away with a push on Sissoko, but that left it wide open for Jaden Akins to get that stick back. And Akins is a good guard rebounder, leading the Michigan State team in rebounding coming into this game at 9 per game. And right now, Cohen Carr guarding Filipowski. They need to look into the big guy and let him go to work.
And Foster just told Young, get out of the way. I want to give it to Filipowski. And Carr blocked it.
What an athlete.
And there's some of that great leaping ability. Hoggard. Walker in the corner. They need it, and they get it.
Boy, that block turned out to be a big play. Led to an open three on the other end. Good decision by A.J. Hoggard. I thought he might take that all the way.
And Carr really only in the game because Hall picked up the foul. He's kind of playing a small ball 4 right now, and he blocked another one. Filipowski, though, wins in the end.
Boy, Filipowski is so tough-minded. He's got a little bit of a mean streak out there. He gets angry.
Walker off to Akins. The pull-up. Sissoko had it and lost it. Foster in transition. Roach for 3. And it's down to the Spartans and Hoggard.
Sissoko was battling on both ends of the floor on the glass.
And another turnover. It belongs to Duke.
A good drive, just a little loose with the ball. Right now, Duke going to call something out. Looks like they're going to their stack action.
Which is? Explain stack.
Stack is 2 guys stacked at the, both the big guys stacked at the free throw line, then they can operate out of it.
And Caleb Foster untouched as he makes his way to the offensive glass.
Right, every time Michigan State seems to get within striking distance, Duke has an answer on the offensive end, and Caleb Foster's been that answer on several possessions.
It started with the latest Michigan State rally, if you will, started with a spectacular defensive play from Cohen Carr.
Cohen Carr is one of the best athletes Michigan State has had since a guy like Miles Bridges or Jason Richardson. And A.J. Hoggard drawing the defense, kicking it out to Tyson Walker. But Duke has had an answer just about every time. And Kyle Filipowski getting it blocked the second time, going up and getting it off the glass with that left hand. He's having to battle.
Hey, don't go anywhere between games. We will have the exclusive reveal of the next college football playoff top 25 rankings. Reese and the guys will break them down from top to bottom with reaction from coaches as well. We couldn't find the guys right now, but we found Reese. And we are joined by our good friend, Reese Davis. Reese, what's top of mind for you heading into this tonight?
I think we're seeing whether Ohio State holds the #1 spot or whether Georgia, after another dominant performance against a top 10 team in Ole Miss, takes over that top spot. I thought they might last week, and I suspect they will tonight.
Well, Reese, you know I watch a lot of that sadistic ground acquisition game that you love so much. But what happens if Jim Harbaugh loses in court and can't coach against Ohio State? What chance do you give Michigan without Harbaugh?
I think anytime you don't have your leader out there can have a negative impact, but I still think Michigan is one of the 2 best teams in the country, 2 best teams that I've seen this year. So I think they can still win the game. It was a really good performance with Sharon Moore, who's a rising star in coaching, guiding them. So not optimal, but I still think they can win that game, Jay.
Excellent pocket square, by the way. You look magnificent.
As always. It's great to see you. You know, the 3 of us have something in common, Reese.
It's not hair.
Not
what
one.
is it?
Well, I was going to say not one of us has a hair out of place, but you're playing with a different deck of cards there than we are right now. So great to see you.
Likewise, buddy.
All right.
Have a good call.
Have fun between games. There's the shot America's been clamoring for right now.
Thank you to our director, Mike Roig, for that. Not a focus on Reese's pocket square, which is just a napkin from the ESPN commissary.
Dan Shulman, Jay Billis, Holly Rowe, first game of 2 here at the State Farm Champions Classic. Kansas, Kentucky still to come. Does Michigan State have another rally in them? That will help Tyson Walker.
Well, Tyson Walker had Filipowski switched off on him. Couldn't get the shot off initially, gave it up, got it back, and then the little step back. He was sizing up that 3 and knew he wanted to take advantage of that matchup.
Still a lot of time. Again, Michigan State playing without Malik Hall at the moment. He's got 4 fouls. Cooper defending Filipowski.
One-on-one in the post.
Good help by Carr, who's made a number of terrific defensive plays.
Carr ran right down the middle of the floor. I thought they might try to get it to him. He is a lob threat every time he's on the floor. And when he's in the corner, you really have to watch him.
Walker, there it is! They watched him soar right over top of him to dunk it.
Yeah, they saw the bottom of his shoes. And Magic Johnson looking, I used to throw that to Greg Kelser.
Cohen Carr can get up there with the very best of them. And that's got the Spartan fans fired up. Foster with a tough one. Cooper another rebound.
Holloman put good pressure on that shot. That was not a good shot by Caleb Foster, but Holloman almost fouled him.
Oh, Walker buries another one. And all of a sudden it's a three-point game.
And the lid is off the basket for the Spartans.
As our buddy Dickie V would say, Uncle Mo is in the house right now, and Cohen Carr, a big reason for the momentum shift. Tyson Walker making some threes. How about this play?
Just a great job splitting the defenders, and anytime Cohen Carr's in the corner, they are looking lob. And give Michigan State credit. While they weren't scoring, they never stopped guarding. I do that on my Nerf hoop at home.
Yeah, but it's only 8 feet off the ground.
You don't need to talk about that. Give me some cover, Dan Shulman.
Well, Michigan State fans have known about this for a while, but for the rest of the country who may not have seen some of the vertical abilities of Cohen Carr, you're seeing him right here.
Well, the dunk champion from the McDonald's All-America game, and he's won a bunch of dunk contests. You can see why. He's not a great shooter yet, needs to get stronger and needs to improve his off-ball defense, but you're not going to find a more explosive player off the floor. A spectacular athlete, Cohen Carr from East Point, Georgia.
Michigan State shot 29% in the first half. They're shooting 58% in the second half. They've made 4 threes in the second half in 4 attempts.
That's almost double.
Yes. Almost exactly double. And it's a 3-point game with a ton of time left, and they've done this without Hall, without Sissoko. Ooh, Carr with a reach-in foul. Tom Izzo didn't love it. Oh, they gave it to Hogard. There, A.J. Hogard reaching in with the left hand.
Yeah, he got arm.
No wonder Carr didn't think it was on him, because it wasn't on him. Let's see what Duke's response is after this 8-0 run.
A good job of guarding those screens off the inbound. A little screen for the screener action. Michigan State guarded extraordinarily well.
Mitchell, and it goes. The assist to Proctor.
Mitchell's so active, especially on the defensive end. Carson Cooper's given such good minutes in this game.
Holloman can't turn the corner. Back to Hogard. Still plenty of time.
Comes the slot ball screen. The hard hedge now almost turned into a double.
Carr's open to the foul line and misses the jumper. But comes up with it. And then threw it away. Got caught in the air before he knew what he wanted to do.
Just nowhere to go. Perhaps thought his athleticism could overcome going around 2 defenders.
Young trying to back Carr down. Instead, the kick to the corner. Kept alive by Cooper.
Well, he's done an expert job on the glass, Carson Cooper.
8 rebounds for Cooper.
Only got 2 points, but his presence defensively, moving his feet, getting out on ball screens, and then recovering and getting to the glass. Yeah, he's been a lifesaver in this game for Tom Izzo.
And Malik Hall checks back in with 4 fouls. 7:08 to go. Jaden Akins back into the game as well. And here comes Kyle Filipowski for Duke.
Yeah. Duke doesn't want to get completely out of rhythm, but they need to go right at Malik Hall and make him guard. See if they can pick up that 5th, or if he'll back off a little bit defensively to stay in the game.
Little weave action here from the Spartans. Another ball screen by Cooper.
Little step up.
Boy, they're not giving Walker anywhere to go. They're forcing him to give the ball up. He's hit 2 threes in the last few minutes. This time a long two will go, and he's feeling it.
He just uses that dribble to freeze Mark Mitchell so he can shoot over the top. I thought he might step back for the three, but he is really starting to feel it.
Up to 17 now for Walker. Mitchell spinning into a lot of traffic and draws the foul, and let's see who they got.
It looked like it was Cooper reaching in, and he doesn't need to reach. He had his body there. Just make him make a play over the top. Now watch Cooper. He comes in there on the spin and just reaches in. Just get your body there and force Mitchell to make that play over the top of you.
Mitchell has spent a lot of time at the free throw line tonight, and he is a perfect 8 for 8. This guy doesn't get a lot of hype, a lot of notoriety. Other guys on the team are talked about more, but he does a lot of good things for this team.
He's such a good cutter, driver, good offensive rebounder, and he's an excellent defender that can switch off and guard multiple positions.
He's guarding Malik Hall right now. Duke by 5. One-on-one. Hall wins.
And nobody came over from the weak side to double. And he just dribbled right to the middle of the lane and buried Mitchell and went over him with that right hand. That's just too easy.
Filipowski. And he's got a chance for a three-point play.
Able to draw that contact with the little shot fake. That little up fake. He could have gone straight up, but that little up fake got Carson Cooper off the ground, and that's going to be an automatic foul. Michigan State's so good at this. You get in the middle, you might be able to drop step, but that was just a 2-foot little jump hook, and Filipowski decided, let Mitchell go one-on-one in the post. Duke's decided not to go with their double team in the low post. They just don't want it kicked out for open shots.
By the way, the 4th foul on Cooper. He's gone to the bench. Mady Sissoko back in for the Spartans. Filipowski on Hall, and he gets called for the foul.
Filipowski had his arms out, and Hall was just able to rip through to the baseline side, and once he faced out, see that arm out, he just went right in. The other arm, the left arm, goes right into his body. That's an automatic foul. It's essentially 2 hands on the ball handler, which is automatic.
6th on Duke. Next one will put Michigan State on the line. Ooh, and some incidental contact there, and the officials are going to let it play on. Duke fans not happy. Hogard inside. Hall's got it. Shot clock's at 5. Akins. And now it belongs to the Blue Devils.
Boy, this has been a rebounding battle. Bodies are flying when the shot goes up. I think you got to look to Filipowski here. Let him go against Malik Hall.
And here he goes. Proctor the extra pass, sniffed out by Holloman, but he couldn't keep it in bounds.
8 left on the shot clock. A difficult place from which to inbound the ball, close to the baseline, right in front of the Duke bench.
Hogard just went to the bench. Walker back in for Michigan State for the stretch run. Proctor forces up a tough shot, and a hold underneath on Sissoko.
Wow. Just got his hands on Ryan Young. Referee was right there. I don't know.
Is that just, as you like to say, that's just rebounding?
Yeah, that's what I call rebounding. I'm not saying it's not a foul, but they could call that on every possession.
So 1-1 for Young.
Ryan Young has a podcast, and it's actually very good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Hopefully he'll decide to do something else. Our days could be numbered.
I think our days are numbered no matter what other people are
I guess
doing.
everybody's days are numbered. I get it.
Yeah. Well, Michigan State had it down to 3 this second half. They get it down to 3 or 4. Duke stretches it back out again. Walker's had a big second half, but again, they're trying to take the ball out of his hands.
Well, they're not worried about Sissoko catching it on a short roll. He's got to roll hard to the basket.
Walker the drive. Switches hands, and it goes.
What a play. It looked like he got that in with the left hand as he was falling to the floor. What a big-time play by Tyson Walker. Started his career at Northeastern, was all defensive team in that league.
Got 15 in the second half, 19 on the night. Again to Filipowski. Hall playing with 4.
Got to go right at him.
Spin. Blocked by Sissoko. Shot clock didn't reset. Proctor. Long rebound. Filipowski's got it. Somebody's lost a shoe, and a foul is called. Bodies flying, shoes flying. And a timeout on the floor with 3:52 to go. Tyson Walker trying to take over the game, Jay, and keep Michigan State in it.
This little hesitation move gets by Proctor, just able to slide by Ryan Young and put that up with the left hand.
Hunter Dickinson and KU are in the house here in Chicago. Jayhawks and Wildcats coming up. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Hey, participate in Dickie V's Super 16 Basketball Bash. It's a raffle for a chance to win an experience for you and one other person to join Dickie V and his basketball friends at his home for dinner at Hoops Hysteria on March the 28th. To purchase a ticket, visit v.org/Super16. And while we're talking Dickie V, people may have seen online, he's getting better. He has been through cancer treatment. That is clear. The voice is not coming back quite as quickly as he would like, but he's doing everything that he can to try to get back on the air as soon as he can this season here with all of us here at ESPN.
Well, the main thing, the beloved Dickie V is cancer-free after 35 radiation treatments, and I know how difficult that's been on Dick and his family, but he has come through it like a champ. And love you, Dick, and can't wait to have you back courtside.
We know you're watching, Dickie V. We love you, thinking of you all the time. As Filipowski gets a friendly bounce on the first.
In this second half, Michigan State shooting 56% and 4 of 5 from 3.
Duke doing a nice job on the line tonight. They're now 20 for 24 as a team.
And Michigan State just 2 for 5. That's really been the difference in the game, is Duke's ability to get to the free throw line and convert.
And it's not like guys like Walker and Akins and Carr can't get to the free throw line. They've got the guys to do it. This guy too. Hall the turnaround. Nicely done. That was pretty.
Boy, he's so good in the post, and if he's going to be left a one-on-one, it's still just a 2. But Duke has decided not to double. And now Duke needs to, they don't want to slow it down, but use some clock and make this defense move. There's a little up screen to get Filipowski in the low post against Cooper.
The double on Filipowski, nowhere to go. Has to give it up. Cross court, the 3 for Foster.
Good patience by Filipowski. And Caleb Foster's just had a spectacular game. That's 15 points now for Foster. He's 3 of 4 from three-point range in this game.
Third assist of the night for Filipowski, and Jay, they've got 15 assists on 20 made field goals.
You go to double, you'd better go to steal it.
Roach gambles. Now Akins. The kick to Hoggard. Good recovery though by Duke on both of these drives. Now Walker looking for room, has to force it up. Cooper the tip, but down with it Young. And now Duke will walk it up the floor a little bit. 2:15 to go with a 9-point lead. Jon Scheyer preaching patience.
Now the clock is their friend with a 9-point lead. You don't have to be in a rush.
Shot clock at 7. Proctor sees it. Again, a wide open 3. And again it it goes for Foster.
Well, that's just too long of a distance for A.J. Hoggard to have to help on that ball screen drive and then recover. You're better off having Duke try to make a tough 2 than kick it out for a wide open 3. Now Filipowski got the double, and then they basically took it off, and he was able to see cross court. And then when he's driving right into help, right into Malik Hall, and A.J. Hoggard just came way too far off a corner shooter.
Caleb Foster, the freshman, 7 of 8 from the floor, 4 of 5 from 3, and a team-high 18 points tonight.
Well, to come off the bench and be that kind of weapon, you can see why he was rated by Paul Biancardi, our recruiting guru, and others as the best shooter coming out of last year's high school class. He's certainly proven that in this game.
Foster had 15 in the season opener against Dartmouth, did not score against Arizona, and now he's got 18 tonight here against Michigan State. And Jon Scheyer looks like he's got a couple of freshmen in the backcourt of McCain and Foster, both of whom are going to be very important for this team this year.
I'm not sure McCain has scored in this game, but he's a really good facilitator, good defender. But to have Caleb Foster be able to come off the bench and give you that kind of firepower.
Michigan State needs quick scores. Roach called for the foul, and that'll send Hall to the line.
Michigan State is going to have to bring some full court pressure with just a minute 40 to go in regulation. Michigan State's going to have to force a turnover and force the tempo. They can't just let Duke walk it up and burn time off the clock.
1-1 for Hall. It's still live. Walker, Tyson Walker, is out of bounds, holding the back of his head. Now he's come back on the court and is back into the play.
But how about the way Tyson Walker operated in that second slot as a guard? I mean, Michigan State worked on that today in practice. He just took an elbow to the head, it looked like, when everybody's coming down. He's got to wear a helmet in this game.
And Jeremy Fears is coming into the game. Walker is going to come out. He may not know it yet. Now he doesn't want to come out, but Tom Izzo has sent Fears onto the court.
If you look at Michigan State and their second slot rebounders, right now it's Cooper and Hall. What they'll do, sometimes a guy like Cooper will spin to open things up in the middle, but they'll cross. They give a lot of different looks, make it difficult so they can not only get an open lane to the basket, but where they can, if there is a miss, they can tip it, keep it alive so they can offensive rebound it. Boy, that free throw disparity is gigantic.
Made them both. Still a 10-point game, though. Just a minute 31 to go. They got it, though. Hall thought about it, didn't take it. Akins now on the drive. And a late whistle and a foul underneath going against Duke.
Boy, just a poor pass by Filipowski on the out of bounds underneath. You have to be aware you've still got a timeout there. You just don't want to give the ball up. And he tried to get it. They're face guarding. Akins able to take it away from Foster, and that's just a weak pass. And Carson Cooper, who has had a terrific floor game, just took it away.
Fourth on Filipowski, but just a minute 22 to go. And now again the officials to the monitor.
Is this another seeing who the foul's on?
We are being told they want to see who the shooter is, so who was fouled. And it looks like it's Cooper, right? Yeah. Judging by the fact that he started on the left side of the screen and wound up out of sight on the right side of the screen.
Well, the way bodies have been flying on this one, I'm not sure that's the indicator.
If Michigan State loses tonight, they will drop to 1-2. They've got Butler and Alcorn State in their next couple of games. Then they got a game against Arizona coming up on the 23rd on Thanksgiving. And Arizona's already defeated Duke in Cameron. At Cameron this year, Tommy Lloyd looks like he has a really strong outfit this season.
Boy, what a pickup they made in Keyshawn Johnson coming in from San Diego State. He had 14 points in the title game against UConn. And he is a plug and play big guy that can guard multiple positions. He's big and strong. He's made a huge difference for Arizona.
Duke's going home for a while. Bucknell, LaSalle, Southern Indiana. We'll see them in about 3 weeks in the ACC SEC Challenge. New event this year in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Woo Pig Suey.
Think it's going to be loud down there that night? Cooper fouls Young. And that's the 5th on Cooper. So he's out.
Izzo going to steal a little timeout here as he's making the substitution. A.J. Hoggard going to come in for Cooper. They're going to be smaller, but they need to make something happen.
The entire second half, Michigan State would make a push, and then Duke would edge that lead back out. I think Michigan State got it down to 3 or 4 on multiple occasions, but Duke kept getting it back to 8, 10, 11.
And for the most part, the answer came from Caleb Foster. And Caleb Foster made some huge shots in this second half.
Ryan Young at the line for the Blue Devils, shooting 2.
Ryan Young shooting 2.
Ryan Young used to seeing Michigan State in his years at Northwestern playing for Chris Collins. Didn't play a ton against Arizona. It wasn't that type of game. But this one is his type of game. Physical. A lot going on near the rim and in the lane.
Michigan State ball down by 9.
Got to push it and look for something early. Ooh, that is not a good foul.
That's not what Jon Scheyer wanted.
Because it stops the clock and puts an excellent free throw shooter at the line. Then Michigan State, I mean, it's a 3-possession game, but Michigan State will be able to set up some full court pressure if they knock both these down.
At the line for the Spartans, shooting 2.
And now Mitchell, a stronger defender, is going to come into the game for Young.
And it also gives Duke another ball handler.
1 of 2. Mitchell the rebound.
You have to decide. You have to bring a trap or foul. And you can't let Duke run time off the clock. You're getting under a minute here.
1 minute remaining.
It's an 8-point game.
Yeah.
You have to do something here.
Yeah, Foster content to let the seconds tick away. Ooh, off a Michigan State handoff of Hoggard out of bounds. So it's down to 8 on the shot clock, but it's down to 51 on the game clock.
There's just not enough time. You have to make a decision there, and the decision's either play the free throw game or certainly not waving the white flag. But
Roach shakes his defender and gets it back to a double-digit lead for Duke. Walker off the side of the backboard. Proctor the rebound, and then a hard foul by Hoggard that Proctor did not appreciate.
I don't know why he gets to go to the free throw line and shoot free throws. It's all good.
And the Duke fans now getting to their feet here in Chicago.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. He's just going after the ball.
Midway through last season, a bit of a switch in the backcourt. Roach more off the ball, Proctor more handling the ball, and whether it's scoring or dishing. I mean, this guy's got incredible upside.
Yeah, he's going to be a first-round draft pick if he decides to come out. I think the key for Tyrese Proctor is to continue to get stronger. You know, teams are being physical with him. That's certainly what Kylan Boswell did when Duke played Arizona last Friday.
Walker coast to coast to lay it in. 9-point game, 34 seconds to go, and an immediate foul committed by Tyson Walker.
Yeah, it's sort of what I don't understand. If you're going to foul now, you should have fouled, minute 10. And try to extend this out, give yourself a chance.
But we haven't seen Tom Izzo, saying yes or no, and he's been the quietest he's been all night in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah,
actually.
who knows? Maybe he didn't want to foul
right.
there.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
And you talk about Tyrese Proctor getting a little stronger. He actually added 8 pounds of muscle. And before you shake your head at just only 8 pounds, he's still just 19 years old. He reclassified, came in as a very young player, just turned 19 in April. So he's going to continue to grow into that fan. And hey, 8 pounds is 8 pounds, and he looks a little stronger this year.
Yeah, certainly room to grow in many ways. Very talented young guy. Walker swatted away by Foster. Boy, has he had a good game.
He's just an offensive weapon. To be able to shoot it like he does, and he can shoot it from the mid-range, but his three-point shooting in this game was a difference maker in the second half. Because Michigan State put a lot of game pressure on Duke. Got it down to one possession. It was Foster that had the answer.
Holloman with the scoop, and now Tom Izzo will call a timeout with 17.2 seconds to go and a 9-point deficit. Well, remember, we got another game coming, and it's a doozy. Kentucky and Kansas. What should people look for?
Well, they should look for the inside strength of Kansas. Bill Self always does a great job when he's got big guys that can post. They can go high-low. It can be Hunter Dickinson up top and KJ Adams down low, or vice versa. And I think you're going to see Kevin McCullough try to take his Kentucky matchup down into the post. Kentucky in this game is smaller. They're not going to be small later on when they get their 7-footers back. Aaron Bradshaw, Ugonna Onyentu, they've got size coming in when everybody gets healthy. But right now, they've got Trey Mitchell, the transfer, 6'9". He's essentially going to be playing the 5. So you're going to see Kentucky as a 5-out team. And they're going to try to be hard to guard on the offensive end, but their freshman class is absolutely spectacular. #1 in the country.
Top ranked, as Jay mentioned, Justin Edwards ranked 3rd. DJ Wagner, son of DeJuan, grandson of Milt, a top 5 recruit as well. Aaron Bradshaw injured. Robert Dillingham had 40 in the blue-white game. He can fill it up. And Reed Shepherd. Hey, if that Shepherd name sounds familiar, it's with good reason.
Yeah, Jeff Shepherd, his father won 2 national championships at Kentucky. One for Rick Pitino, one for Tubby Smith.
Looking forward to Kansas and Kentucky. Coming up about half an hour after this one ends.
When Jeff Shepherd was at Kentucky, they were an overtime period away in 1997 against Arizona from a 3-peat.
Yeah, how about that? And now no fouls coming. Michigan State will let the final seconds tick away. And Duke bounces back from a home loss to Arizona on Friday. Jon Scheyer comes home here to Chicago. Coaches in this building for the first time, and he's going to walk out of here with a victory.
He wanted to see more toughness and more physicality from his team after that Arizona game, and he saw it against Michigan State.
Back in the day, again, Tom Izzo recruited Jon Scheyer, but Scheyer went to Duke instead of going to Michigan State. And a good win for Duke. Michigan State got back into it on several occasions in the second half, but couldn't quite get over the hump. Filipowski had 15. Foster had 18 to lead the Blue Devils. Tyson Walker wound up leading all scorers. He had 22. Malik Hall had 18. But they just put themselves in such a hole, Jay, in the first half, they couldn't quite dig all the way out of it.
Couldn't buy a basket in the first half. Probably shot too many threes. But there were some positives for Michigan State in that second half. A lot to build on. This is still a very good team, and a team that's going to continue to get better throughout the course of the season.
(74-65) the final in favor of Duke. As Jay mentioned, the free throw disparity a huge part of that. I think the Jayhawks are ready. They are making their way out to the court. Holly Rowe is ready as well. She's with Caleb Foster.
Well, Caleb, you're a freshman. This is a new big stage for you here tonight. You're sitting on the bench waiting for your turn to impact the game. How are you so comfortable so early?
Just the trust of my teammates and my coaches, coming off the bench, it's something I'm not used to, but just coming in being ready to take shots I need to take.
You were ready. In the second half, you were the difference maker. How were you able to not only hit the threes, but you got downhill and really impacted the offense?
My teammates, thank you to my teammates. They just, trusted me, believed in me, and helped me make plays.
You guys are coming off a big loss at home against Arizona. What were the lessons you learned from that you were able to apply tonight?
Just sharing the ball, moving the ball, playing hard on defense. That's all we do.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Terrific night for the freshman, leading Duke to a victory. Jon Scheyer and company beat Michigan State 74-65. Kansas and Kentucky about a half an hour away. Now let's send it back to the studio. It's time for the College Football Playoff Top 25, presented by Goodyear with Reese and the guys.